Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I'm here to tell you the 10 best tips of Barcelona. We gathered all the content of our videos about Barcelona and gathered the top 10 tips that you cannot miss to travel there. So stay tuned, that will be a very quick tips, useful, and that should make a difference on your trip. So check out the video guys, give us a like, subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot, and that's it, buckle up. Well, the first tip we think is fundamental and will make a lot of difference in your trip is where to stay in Barcelona. The choice of location influences a lot and helps a lot in your trip. We created a complete video about it in which we tell you more details, but we'll summarize here the 10 tips so as not to get too big. So the tip is stay in the historical center, the tourist center, that's the region of the Plaza de Catalunya, where Las Ramblas is also, which is the main street of the city. If you stay there, you will be in a sensational location. You can do everything on foot or by subway because there are many subway lines in Barcelona. It's much easier to make the most of your time. You don't waste so much time getting around, and most of the tourist attractions, stores are in this area, so you are close to everything. And to make it easier, we created a hotel search engine which is one of the biggest in the world, and it's what we always use there to book our hotels. We were able to, I'll put the link here below in the description of the video. You click on this link, we were able to customize a map of Barcelona. So we made a delimited area, which is the area that we think is the best region to stay. Staying within this delimited area, you will be staying in a sensational place and you will enjoy your trip a lot. We have already put filters from 3 to 5 stars for the hotels and guest ratings from 8 to 10. So put the date of your trip, stay there, the hotel that appears is good and you can trust it, so get the cheapest. See if there are any on promotion, and advanced booking also makes your lodging cheaper. Book as soon as possible and cancellation is free, so you can cancel later, but make sure you have the best location because you will start your trip on the right foot. Choosing the right location is the best way to start. The second tip from Barcelona has to do with the first one too, which is transportation. And what happens in Barcelona, there are many subway stations. The metro works super well and it doesn't pay to rent a car. There are some cities in Europe that it even pays off. If you tend to visit a city near Barcelona or to make a tour around Spain and Madrid, then it pays off to rent a car. It's a sensational trip, but to stay only in Barcelona, there's no need. So the tip is stay close to or in this historic and tourist center, which will be close to everything, or stay in a hotel that's near a subway station because there you will be able to get around everywhere. And an important tip is to buy the metro pass. If you go there for the first time, you will see that in the subway station there is a super easy machine. You go with your credit card or with money and you have to buy the pass in this machine. The single pass costs in our time at least €2.20. If you buy the package, the combo with 10 tickets, which are 10 trips, it costs €10. So it's less than half the price. So the tip is this: buy the combo to use more times. It's much cheaper. And to save even more, there is a card that's very good. You buy it beforehand on the internet and you choose the amount of days you want to use, and you can use the card unlimited for as many trips as you want to make within this period. You can buy 3 days, 5 days, or 10 days. I'll leave here in the description of the video the link of this partner here, which is a very good site. It sells the tickets and tours in Barcelona. It has all the tickets, all the tours, and they always have the best prices. We buy only with them for all the places in Europe, and it's very good because you buy everything in one place. You don't have to wait in line, you don't leave it there at the time because it's more expensive. You lose time in line and sometimes the tickets are sold out, the attractions that are very crowded. So buy everything beforehand, and there you have this subway ticket. You can buy it directly. It was very easy because it was in our language there on the internet, and buy it beforehand so you can use the subway at will during your trip. The third tip is about the tours in Barcelona, including what we just commented about the ticket is very important. Buy all the tickets beforehand because the attractions in Barcelona, almost all of them require tickets, and there are a lot of them. So Barcelona is one of the destinations that you will spend the most on tickets. No way. So buying tickets in advance helps a lot. The other tip is to select well the attractions you want to see. In our opinion, the Gaudi tour, which is what they call it, because there Antonio Gaudi was a very important person in the history of Barcelona Barcelona's architecture. He designed many of the main sites, buildings, they valued this very much there, and the main tourist attractions are his work, so you have to get to know them. There are several, but in our opinion there are 5 that you can't miss. The Sagrada Familia is the main attraction in Barcelona. You cannot go to Barcelona and not visit the Sagrada Familia. It's a beautiful church, a gigantic temple that is still not finished being built. It has been for years trying to be built and finish it. It started by Gaudi, and until today they are trying to finish it. It's a sensational work, and an important tip, try to visit it on a sunny day, because the church is all made of stained glass. It's all colored glass, and when you go inside, that's the beauty of the church. That's what differentiates it from all the others. The light shines on the stained glass windows and everything is colored. It's a beautiful thing. So if you're in a cloudy day, it doesn't look good. That's the other tip, an extra tip in the middle. Then the Sagrada Familia, there's also the park well, which is very nice and a little bit further away, but it's an open park, so you can't visit it on a rainy day. But there are several works of art and sculptures around, and there is also Casa Batlló and Casa La Pedrera. They are 2 very famous houses, 2 buildings built by Gaudi that today are there for you to see. It's like a museum for you to enter and visit. What happens, they are usually a little bit expensive. The tickets for these attractions are not cheap, so check them out, calculate the price, buy them beforehand, and guarantee everything, because they are not cheap. And what many people say is, but if I have to include one of these, which one do I exclude? We always say that the Sagrada Familia and the Park Well, you have to go because they are different. La Pedrera and Casa Batlló, both are incredible if you can visit them, because they are very worth it. But many people have the doubt, if I have to choose one, which one do I visit? We always recommend go to Casa Batlló. We think it's a very interactive experience. You have a virtual reality, you can see the rooms designed with all the furniture, with all the decorations of the time. We think it's very cool. La Pedrera is a little bit more classic and has a differentiated architecture. It's also beautiful, it's sensational, it's a very beautiful work. But if you have to choose one, we recommend Casa Batlló, and these are the main Gaudi sites. We will talk about some others here in Barcelona, but these are the main ones. So organize well, because there is a lot of sightseeing and a lot of nice things to do there in Barcelona. We have a lot of cool places to visit, so you can organize yourself to see which one you like. Our 4th tip, get to know the area of Montjuic. It's a very beautiful area. There is Plaza de España, which is very nice there. There is an arena there that's called Plaza de las Arenas, which is very nice. It was an old bullfighting arena where they used it to do those classic bullfights in Spain. It was deactivated, and today it's a very cool shopping mall. We like to visit it, so go to this area that's very beautiful. There is the square, there is the shopping center called Plaza de las Arenas, and there is also the area of the Montjuic Palace, which is very beautiful. The palace is up there, so you walk around, you enter. It's a very nice scenario. It has 2 big towers. You go walking, there's the fountain of Montjuic, which is very beautiful, and you have to climb a lot. You have to prepare yourself a little bit. You get to the top of the Palacio de Montjuic. The view of Barcelona from the top is very beautiful, so go up there and take lots of pictures. It's a very beautiful scenario. And a tip that we think is sensational is go to the fountain show. There in Montjuic, there is this fountain, and it happens some days of the week, usually on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. But check there on their website, because the times vary a little bit. Check the day and the time, because it varies a lot, but it's specified on their website. There's a water show that's sensational. It's called Magic Fountains of Montjuic. It's like the Bellagio of Las Vegas, but the Ibirapuera Park, but even more beautiful, because the sensation when you are there, they managed to do a light show, a music show. That's an amazing experience, and it's worth a lot. So schedule yourself to go in the late afternoon, so you can see the beautiful scenery during the day, and when it gets dark, you can also watch this show. It's a good tip. You will see that it will be amazing. Now the 5th tip, shopping. What tourists traveling abroad is not interested in shopping. In Europe, it's not so cheap as in the United States, but Barcelona is a very good place. We think that the cheapest place in Europe to shop is Portugal. In Lisbon, we think the prices are very good, but right after that, there is also Barcelona. Spain in general, we think it's cheaper than the other countries, and we ended up buying quite a lot of things. It's not the intention. Who travels to Europe does not have this intention, but there are many nice things. The 2 main streets that have the biggest stores are the Palais and Las Ramblas, which is the main street in the tourist center. These 2 streets concentrates almost all the brand name stores that we know, and there is one sensational store that's the Corte Inglés. It's a super famous department store in Europe. There are several floors with thousands of products from the most famous brands. It's very nice to know. It has several stores. The ATM we like a lot, which has very cheap clothes. We always buy when we travel to the United States or Europe. And a nice tip that we picked up, we didn't know about it and we found it very good and very cheap. If you want cheap clothes, there is a store called Primark, which is a very good one. It's very big, it has all kind of clothes, but they are private label. It's a private manufacturer and the prices are very cheap indeed. When we visited, I wasn't in need of a cold sweater and jacket. I ended up buying two knitwear and a jacket because it costs 10 euros, 15 euros. It was very cheap. So who likes cheap clothes, go to this Primark. That's very worth it. So with tourists who are there in Barcelona, for example, all the purchases that you make above 90 euros, you are entitled to get a refund. You get the amount back, so it ranges from 15 to 25%. It's a very good amount. It's not a small amount, so it's worth it. How does it work? It's very simple. You can do more research later, but all the stores, the big stores that you go to, if you go over 90 euros, the clerk will tell you, do you want a tax-free or a tax refund? So you go there and say yes, that you like it, and you must always have your passport photo because they need the number of the passport. That way you can get the tax-free or the taxi refund, as they call it. This is what the name is, the tax-free or tax refund. This is how we do it. It's the tax that you get back from the taxes that you get, your tax refund or tax refund. What did I say? And then you say yes, so you get your passport. They see the name and the number. They need the number. They will fill out a document. It will give you the receipt, and then you keep all these receipts together and accumulate them. When you go to the airport, when you go back to your country at the final destination, if you come back to Barcelona, that's fine. Or if you're going to visit another country in Europe, you collect them all from Europe, and at least the last airport before you go back to your country, you take all these documents stored in this specific area. You Google it or ask the airport. They tell you can give all the registrations, all these receipts, and you give the money. It's easy, but we who are from another country don't believe in these things very much. We find it a little strange, but you get out there with the money in your hand, or they charge it back to your credit card. It works very well, and it's very nice there for you to save money on your shopping. It's very nice. The sixth tip is the restaurants. There are many nice restaurants in Barcelona. We think the coolest ones are located on Las Ramblas street. There are some that are open on the sidewalk. It's very nice. Visit there during the day and in the afternoon. They have the so-called tapas, which is a meal that they make. It's like a buffet with a lot of food. You pay a fee and you can get as much as you want. Only it's not meal food. It's small portions. So there are a lot of nice and typical things from them. Enjoy it because it's very nice to know their culture. And the restaurants in the tourist network are the most expensive. So if you want to save money, go to 4 blocks from the city, escape a little from the tourist points, and you will get much cheaper restaurants. And the water tip, everywhere in Europe and the United States, we always mention this tip: don't buy water in restaurants. Usually those of us who do not know, we did it the first few times. You arrive at the restaurant and ask for a bottle of water. They bring you a 1-liter bottle of water that costs between 6 and 8 euros. Imagine spending that on every meal and during every day. That's a fortune in water. So the tap water there is treated just like in almost all countries in Europe and the United States. So ask for tap water. They will bring you tap water that's filtered. It's their custom there, and they drink it, so you will already save a good amount of money. And the tipping there is a little different from what we are used to. They do not earn tips. They are not used to tipping. It's very rare. If you're treated very well in the restaurant, sometimes people even leave an amount on the table, but it's not charged. It's not mandatory, custom like in the United States. Like in some other cultures, it's part of the culture and you have to give. It's not obligatory, but it's a good practice that you give. So don't worry about giving the tips. It's not mandatory, but if you want, it's a nice gesture. The seventh tip is about the cell phone, so you can use your cell phone at will there. We didn't find many places with free Wi-Fi. It's very difficult and you have to use your cell phone. Our tip, and the one we use in almost every trip now, is buy the chip in your country. We met a very nice partner there who sells the chip. We bought it through their site in our country. We received the chip at home in a few days with a manual on how to use it. Everything beautiful. And when we went traveling, arriving at your destination on the plane, we changed the chip and got off the plane with it working there, and we used their internet at will, which was very good. The signal worked at all cities we visited, so we highly recommend it. There's an application to track the balance. If you need to recharge, just recharge it. The chip is yours forever. You can recharge it later on the next trips. It's even cheaper because you don't pay the value of the chip that you paid for the first purchase, and it's very cool. I'll leave the link below too. Take a look. It's very worthwhile. You can use the internet all the time. The 8th tip is the season. The month you will choose to travel to Barcelona will influence a lot in the whole planning of your trip. In the financial issue and also the issue of full places, empty places, of you being able to enjoy more attractions. In the high season, which is the European summer, which is July and August, the city is very crowded and everything is more expensive. And also at the end of the year, December and January, which also coincides with school vacations in many countries, everything is much more expensive and much more crowded. So if you can travel during the other seasons, it's better because you pay less, you have emptier places, and you will be able to enjoy a little bit more. But if you have to travel at these times because it's the school vacations, your work vacation, don't worry, you can enjoy it just the same. You just have to pay attention. 9th tip, I won't say that these are for soccer fans because even those who don't like soccer are impressed. My wife doesn't like soccer, she doesn't have that passion, and she was amazed with this tour, which is the Camp Nou. It's the Barcelona stadium, so if you can catch a Barcelona game, we did it and it was very nice. We watched Messi and Neymar score. The game was 3-1 Barcelona. It was a very good experience. If you can be there on a date when there will be a game, take a look at their website, it's nice to go. But if not, there's the Camp Nou tour, which is very nice. You get to know the whole stadium, all the parts inside, the fans, the field. It's a sensational experience. There's a museum inside that shows all the history, the players, and the trophies. It's a tour that's really worthwhile. There's this site that I left here below about the tickets for the tours, where they sell the tour, the ticket for the museum, everything. Take a look there because we thought it was really worth it, and it's also nice to buy a t-shirt in their official store. And the 10th tip is a mandatory tip, so we always remind people, is travel insurance. For those who don't know, the international travel insurance is mandatory for those who are going to travel to almost any country in Europe. They do require travel insurance. And what is international travel insurance? It's an insurance that will cover you for any medical or dental expense, lost luggage, or theft. There is an infinity of assistance in case you have a problem abroad, but the main one is medical assistance, which is the most used and the one that causes the most problems. So for Europe, you have to have travel insurance to get there and have medical assistance with coverage of at least 30,000 euros. This is their requirement. So if you have insurance that has this coverage, it's easy and you can go there at will. And the best of all is that travel insurance is very cheap. People think it's expensive because of all this coverage, but it's very cheap. We always take travel insurance when we go anywhere, even if it's not Europe, which is mandatory. We always do it the same way because it's very cheap and covers you for various expenses that you may have abroad. A consultation abroad in Europe or the United States is a fortune. A hospitalization, then, not to mention. To give you an idea, travel insurance using the price comparison tool that we use that gets very cheap prices too is similar to the car comparison tool. It's very good. And there's also the train one, which is sensational. These comparators are very good. They allow us to save a lot because they do the research service in all the companies. So I'll leave the link here also for the travel insurance comparator. You will pay an average, a good insurance with all these requirements with a good company, and for 10 days you will pay between $28 to $32. It's very cheap compared to all the coverage and security that it brings. So do some research. The insurance is per day, so the longer you stay, the more expensive it will cost, and it's valid for all Europe. So if you visit other countries and cities, it's the same insurance. You only have one insurance and it covers you for everything. So use the comparator because it gets very good prices quickly. You buy it and in 5 minutes you will have the policy in your email and it's ready to print and take to your trip. It's all very easy to. And that's it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us out a lot. And follow us on social networks. We are always traveling the world, trying to show travel tips in a very cool way and relaxed way, and our family routine there with our little one that is a blast. And if you have any questions or not, if you liked the video, comment here below on YouTube. Make your comments. If you have any cool tips to give, if you've been to, comment and interact. If you're planning your trip and have any questions, send us a direct message or add us on the social networks. Send us a direct and I will gladly help you. And also tag us in the pictures of your trip when you're there because we love to repost and show people's trips to everyone who end up traveling and planning with our videos, with our blogs. It's really cool. And make sure to watch the video on how to save a lot on your trip to Barcelona. I'll leave here on the side. It's a complete video that will make you save a lot, pay a lot cheaper, and travel a lot cheaper from the beginning to the end of your trip. It's a complete video and the playlist has all the videos from Barcelona and Spain. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much and have nice trips.